quietly and follow along. At any point, click the pause button to catch up or take a break. Hey everybody, today let's make a clay walrus. Here we go. We're going to begin with a little chunk of clay, and it's a little bit bigger than the size of a golf ball. Let's roll it into a ball by rotating the clay underneath your palm of your hand. It also helps too if you pick it up and then you can kind of do the last final touches of shaping it with your fingers. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be turning this into a pinch pot. To make a pinch pot, you're going to insert your thumb a little more than halfway and then pinch and rotate the clay in your fingers while keeping your fingers nice and flat. As I'm pinching, you'll notice that it gets really thinner. And you're going to want to pinch so it's about the width of your pinky and the thickness of your pinky all the way around, so right here and the bottom. There we go. Next, what we're going to do is, now this is going to be the body of our walrus. We just want to give it a little bit of a stretch. So to give it a stretch, I'm going to insert my thumbs and kind of pull the pot outward so it's long. There we go. And your clay might rip a little. That's okay. We can always just give it a little patch. I'm just going to kind of pull it. And I'm also giving it a little pinch with my fingers as well. Okay, we're going to flip it back up. And we can now mold it in our hands. Just like this, kind of flattening it out and reshaping it. Here we go. We just made a hollow form. Now, clay, when it's too thick, like if we just would have made this into a ball of clay, it wouldn't have been able to dry properly and survive the kiln firing. So that's why it's important to make hollow forms whenever we can. Here is the the walrus, we're making walruses, that body right there. Let's work on the head of the walrus. And same kind of thing, we're gonna pinch off a little more of that chunk of clay. And this is about the size, a little bit bigger than an acorn. And I'm rolling it in my hands and on the table surface into a ball. There we go. Try to get it as round as you can because we're making a pinch pot, but this time, boys and girls, a little smaller. Here we go, insert thumb, a little more than halfway, and pinch, pinch, pinch all the way around. There we go, this one's gonna be a little smaller. And as I bring it up to my body, looks a little big. So what you can do is pinch a good amount off, as much as you think you don't need, and start again. That's the wonderful part of ceramics. We can always take it apart and size things. Insert thumb again, and I need to make a smaller pinch pot, so that's what I'm gonna be doing for my head. If you got it on the first shot, lucky you, awesome. Okay, this one's a little smaller. Oh, that's much more appropriate for our walrus. Now we need to attach the head. Here's what you do. You don't just smush it on, you need to use the score and slip method. I like to score my clay using a small comb. And we're going to score the clay on the rim of the mini pinch pot and wherever it's going to touch on its body. I just like to do the whole area just to be sure I got it covered. Make sure you're really roughing up that surface of the clay. All right, time to add slip. Grab your little handy dandy toothbrush and dabber, dabber, dabber on each piece of clay. Here we go, give it a nice press, not too much, remember. You don't wanna press too hard on your pinch pot, otherwise it won't cave in. Here we go, and what you can do next is smooth those edges together. We don't wanna have that seam there. I'm just taking my finger. There we go. And also be mindful of what the pinch pot, the body's doing too, the bigger one. You don't want to smush that one as well. But as we're getting more body parts together of our walrus, you can kind of shape things with your fingers and smooth it. You can even give it a little massage like I'm doing to my little walrus and smooth it out, shape it, get it to more how you want it to be shaped. All right, now that we have a head and a body in the back here, I'm gonna kind of just adjust mine so you can see it. It does kind of come down a little bit like a whale tail, but it also has like little fins and kind of flippers. That's like their little back feet. So what we're gonna do is take a little ball of clay, again about the size of an acorn, and roll it into a ball. We're then going to roll it into somewhat of a coil. A coil is almost like a snake shape. We're not doing it quite the snake, but from fingertip to palm. We're gonna make more of like a skinnier circle, kind of like this. Now, I like to hold the clay in my left hand because my right hand is my dominant hand, and I'm just holding it with my fingers like so. And I'm going to push my thumb in like this, and I kind of wiggle it back and forth, up and down. And now I can kind of pinch those sides down. See how I got this shape, kind of like the little flippers. As long as you split the clay in half and have some base, that will be totally fine. Okay, and then we can kind of flip out the flippers as well. And I'm pinching and flattening them, boys and girls, with my fingers. Like a little crab, just kind of pinching and flattening. All right, and now this is where it's going to attach to our pot like this. But as you know, we need to first score both pieces where they're attached. And then we add slip. Dab, 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 dab. And I'm going to just give it a little push, ever so slightly. And then what I can do is I can start to smooth in any extra clay from both pieces and blend them together. I'm keeping my fingers underneath so I can support the pieces as they attach. There we go. I'm attaching it from all sides, even underneath. There we go. That is my little walrus. And to be honest, these look a little big, so maybe you can adjust them. I'm gonna have mine go more towards the back. Oh, he's really cute now. Awesome. What will also make this look less awkward is if we add his front little flippers. So again, I'm just gonna take a little pinch of clay about the size of my thumb. Okay, I'm gonna roll it into a ball, and then I'm gonna flatten it just a little bit on the table. Then I can score and slip and attach them to the body. Score, score, slip, slip. Once again, be very careful. You don't wanna crush your body. So I'm just gonna slowly blend it in, and you can kind of mold the clay in your fingers however you see fit. Okay, just like that. My body is caving in a little bit here. That's okay. It's a really great start. Now let's do the other side. We're gonna pinch off a little bit of clay about the size of our thumb, roll into a ball, press on the table with our palm just ever so slightly. And now we attach using score and slip. Score, and then here's my slip coming on. Pressing it into the clay, but I'm being very careful, whoop, that it does not collapse, and I'm slowly just blending it in. You can take always a little water, that helps kind of loosen up that clay. And I'm gonna start to pinch it into my desired shape of the little fins. Awesome. Looking good. I'm gonna start to also smooth out the back because I do want it a little smoother. There we go, a little farther down. There, see, I'm making it a little bit more narrow. There. Awesome. There is his back. See how he's really starting to take shape. Let's work on the walrus's face. This is where I'm going to get out my fingers and use them as my main tool. I'm going to push in the bottom just a little bit, kind of drawing a line. When I did that, it brought out the kind of the nose area. So just a little push. There we go. Just like that. And now I can add eyes in those places as well. You can either take a tool and push a little more, now with something a little smaller, or you can do both of this, or you can just roll it into a ball and put the ball on the clay and dab it in. Make sure it really connects. If you need to do a score and slip, you can. There is that. Okay. Awesome. We can also add other details if we look at a picture. A walrus has like kind of a division in its lips like a dog, and also a nose. So I'm just using a clay tool and I'm sculpting them in. Just like that. Kind of looks like a seal right now. Pretty cool. And last but not least, they also have like those tucks or those longer teeth that come down. Do it by rolling a mini coil. You can even break them in half. Look at that. And we can add those as well. Now, these are, in my opinion, way too long for what I need. So I'm going to break this one in half. And I will slowly just attach and smooth them in. Let's see, they need to go underneath, kind of right there-ish. I can always come back in and redraw that line so it looks like the tooth is under his lip. Okay, now you gotta be careful, your teeth might break off, so you have to be a little careful. Once again, I just rolled a little bit of clay and I'm pushing it into, making sure it goes underneath his lip. You can always redraw the line for the lip. There we go. And see, here's my body. Not too bad. It's okay it caved in a little bit because I wanted it skinnier. As long as it's a hollow form, it will be a-okay. Alrighty. There is my little walrus form. I'm just going to go in and smooth out some of this. And I do want him a little bigger, so there we go. Much more healthier looking. I can always take my butter knife and I'm going to just slice off that bit right there. Had a little extra clay as it flattened out. There we go. That's a little walrus. Thank you so much for watching.